Through this demo, I am explaining the overriding of equals method. Why overriding is required already explained to you. Once again, I brief it. As far as equals method is concerned, equals method by default means whatever a class inherits from object class tests the equality of the reference. It does not test the equality of the content. You must remember that this is reference, this is content. So, both are different things. Testing the equality of the reference, testing the equality of the content are different elements. By default, equals method tests the equality of the reference only, whether it is string or non-string. But as far as string class is concerned, it explicitly overrided equals method to test the equality of the content. That is why whether you use equality operator or equals method on string, you get the same result. But as far as other classes are concerned, non-string classes are concerned, equals method tests the equality of the reference only. That means one object is there, let us say 15, a rectangle object, its content is a rectangle object is there. That object is referred by two references, R1 and R2. That means the references are same, then equals method gives true, but it does not test the equality of the content. Now, how can we enable equals method to test the content of the objects, equality of the contents of the object? For that purpose, we have to override that. What is the overriding feature? We have to understand. This is very important program, and you may get doubts, but already I explained to you. Once again, what are the sensitive points I am focusing once again. Now you see simple class rectangle. In this, length and breadth are there, and this is the constructor to initialize length and breadth. Okay. Now here I overrided, and overrided I commented out using C comments. I commented out. That is why there is no impact of that. There is no impact of this first. That means without overriding equals method, I am testing the equality of the rectangle object. That point you must clearly understand. Now this is the implementation equals method overriding demo. The class that main I have defined. Now you see R1 rectangle object, R2 another rectangle, R3 another 3 rectangle objects I have created. As far as R1 and R2 are concerned, same values I have given. That means same values I have given, references are different, but contents are same. R3 is concerned, reference is different and content is also different. These are the facts. Before overriding, what is happening, I will show you. Now equals method I have overridden, but I commented out. That is why there is no impact. Now R1 and R2, now it is checking only reference equality, but both are independent references. That is why what is the result? Result is false. Next, here R2 and R3 also referring different objects, the result is false. Okay. Now that you understand. But if these are strings and all that, instead of R1, R2, if those are string objects and all that, the result would be true. The result would be true because overriding was done in the string class itself. Okay, this result is true as far as string class is concerned, overriding was done. Now, you see that how we made overriding equals method. Now, here you see R1 equals R2. What I am passing? R2 I am passing. Then the R2 is copied in R. Now, you get a great doubt. What is that? Actually, if you have to compare two objects, you have to pass, but you are passing only one object. How comparison is possible? That is our doubt. Already explained this point. Here, one thing, length means this length, whichever object is calling, its length. Who is calling? R1 is calling. Now, how many R1 is present by itself in this method. Now, you are passing R2, R2 is copied into R. That is why what are available? Initially R1 is available by its status because it is a caller. R2 you have passed explicitly, both are present. So, what is the meaning of this expression? R1 dot length is equal to R2 dot length and R1 dot breadth is equal to R2 dot breadth. If two objects are there, their lengths are equal and their breadth are equal, what would be the result? Return true. Otherwise, return false. Once again I am telling you, with the reference to this you understand R1 is calling equals method and it is passing R2. Then who is the caller of equals method? R1. That means R1 is the boss, R1 is the caller. That is why R1 is present. In your home, you need not tell this is my home. So, R1 is obviously present being a caller. So, its meaning is R1 dot length and R2 is passed. Now, R2 is passed. That is why R represents R2. R1 dot length is equal to R2 dot length and R1 dot breadth is equal to R2 dot breadth. Then two rectangles are there, their lengths are equal, their breadths are equal. What is the result? The content is equal, true, otherwise it is false. Next, let us come to R2 dot R3. Now, who is the caller? R2. Now, R2 is present here. Now, caller is R2. R2 is present here. So, what is the meaning of that? R2 dot length is equal to now R3 is passed here. R represents R3. Then, what is the meaning of that? R2 dot length is equal to R3 dot length and R2 dot breadth is equal to R3 dot breadth. Then the return is true, otherwise it is false. So, if we have to check the equality of the contents of non-string objects, you must override it like this. Then what would be the result? Once you activate it, then what is the result? The result should be true, true. Try to understand, because earlier twice I explained, again once I am explaining, because most 90% students are confused at this thing. So, you treat string objects, because this type of overriding was done in the string class itself by itself explicitly, we need not do. As far as this is concerned, non-string classes are concerned, if you want to use equals method for testing the equality of the here I made a mistake. As far as this is concerned, this is not true, this is false. Why it is false? Here content is not equal. Content is not equal. As far as R1 and R2 are concerned, content is equal, the result is true, and as far as R2 and R3 are concerned, contents are not equal, that is why the result is false. So, you work out, and if you have any doubts on this point, I do not mind to explain to you once again in a different manner, but you must closely follow each and every point, and you must find out the difference between string objects and non-string objects, and equality operator, the functionality of the equality operator, the functionality of the equals method before overriding, the functionality of the equals method after overriding, you have to see, and you must write your own notes in order to own this concept.